Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Safira Maulida. My student number is 2020-1065. In this video, I would like to explain educational psycholinguistics and share how this theory relates to my teaching observations and experiences during my PLP program. Educational psycholinguistics is a branch of science that combines psychology, linguistics, and education. It studies how learners understand, process, acquire, and produce language in educational settings. As future English teachers, we need to understand not only what students learn, but also how they learn. Every student processes language differently. Some students learn quickly through listening, while others understand better through reading, speaking practice, or visual materials. Therefore, teachers should recognize these differences and create learning experiences that meet students' needs. Educational psycholinguistics also explains that language learning is influenced by several psychological factors, such as motivation, self-confidence, anxiety, memory, and attention. These factors often determine whether students actively participate in classroom activities. Understanding educational psycholinguistics helps teachers design effective learning activities. Instead of asking students to memorize vocabulary or grammar rules, teachers should provide meaningful language input and opportunities for communication. Students learn English more successfully when they actively use the language in real situations. Another important point is that students should not be afraid of making mistakes. Errors are a natural part of language learning because they show that students are trying to communicate. Therefore, teachers should encourage students and provide constructive feedback rather than focusing only on correcting mistakes. During my PLP at SMA Negeri 1 Labuan Haji, I observed several English classes and also had opportunities to assist and teach students. One experience that impressed me happened during a speaking activity. The teacher asked students to introduce themselves and talk about their daily routine in English. At the beginning of the lessons, many students looked nervous. Some avoided eye contact, spoke very quietly, or preferred to remain silent because they were afraid of making grammatical mistakes or being laughed at by their classmates. Instead of correcting every mistake immediately, the teacher responded positively to students' efforts. After each student finished speaking, the teacher praised their confidence first and then gently corrected only the most important. Instead of correcting every mistake immediately, the teacher responded positively to students' efforts. After each student finished speaking, the teacher praised their confidence first thing and gently corrected only the most important mistakes. I noticed that after receiving positive feedback, the students become more relaxed and willing to participate. During the next activity, more students volunteered to answer questions and even tried to speak English without being asked individually. This experience showed me that confidence and motivation are closely related to language learning, which is one of the main concepts in educational psycholinguistics. Another observation occurred during vocabulary learning. Rather than simply writing new words on the whiteboard, the teacher used pictures, gestures, and examples related to students' daily lives. For example, when teaching descriptive vocabulary, the teacher showed pictures of places around Lambak and asked students to describe what they saw. Because the topic was familiar, students understood the vocabulary more easily and participated actively in the discussions. From this experience, I learned that students understand new language better than teachers connect lessons with their prior knowledge and real-life experiences. This is one of the important principles of psycholinguistics because the brain learns new information more effectively when it can connect it with existing knowledge. My PLP experience has helped me realize that being an English teacher is not only about explaining grammar or vocabulary. Teachers also need to understand students' emotions, motivations, confidence, learning styles, and cognitive process. Educational psycholinguistics teach us that successful language learning happens when students feel safe, motivated, and actively engage in meaningful communication. As future teachers, we should create a classroom environment where students are encouraged to express themselves without a fear of making mistakes. By doing so, students will gradually develop both their confidence and their English communication skills. In conclusion, educational psycholinguistics provides valuable insight into how students acquire and use language. My experience during the PLP program has shown me that psychological factors such as motivation, confidence, and meaningful learning activities significantly influence students' language development. I believe that understanding educational psycholinguistics will help us become more effective, creative, and empathic English teachers in the future. That's all for me. I think it's enough. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this explanation has helped you understand the importance of educational psycholinguistics in English language teaching. See you on my next video.